Hey folks, Phil the B-Man here. I've had a few people ask about my Sypder forklift, so I thought I'd do just a quick walk around. This is a 70s era sod forklift. Very simple design. I've repowered it with a 18 horse Briggs & Stratton. It originally had a Kohler, I think a 16 horse engine. And the hydraulic reservoir is inside the mast. Fuel tank. It's basically just an over-designed lawnmower. And you can see that the front wheels are sort of, when it's fully in a down position, almost halfway down the length of the forks, and that gives it quite a bit of stability because it can't tip forward unless you really do something wrong. And it's the rear wheels are just on a caster, and it's not a particularly effective machine under muddy conditions, and it lives a pretty miserable life because it just drags around my bee trucks all the time and takes all the rock and mud and gravel. And here's the trailer for it. I know someone was asking about that. So the forklift sits up on top of this and can self-load with the front portion of the forklift sitting in this groove here, and the mast leaning against this brace, and the forks sitting over top of the tongue. Pintle hitch, which has that, locks in a way that a ball hitch just doesn't. 3,000 pound tires. Standard trailer axle, although on this trailer I couldn't, when they told me how much it was, a special order, the narrow axle, I just bought a standard wide one and cut it down and rewelded it. So here it is sitting up on its trailer. Forks there. That sort of, I'd call it the axle, but it's really the pivot for the upright, sitting in that groove. And it kind of torques itself in there in a way that it sort of self-locking by leaning into that brace at the bottom. And the rear axle just kind of hangs there. And it looks a little funny going down the road. I think these spiders were originally designed, and that's what all this hardware is for hanging on the back of a semi-truck, or maybe a 10-wheeler for sod delivery. But the previous owner, a sod farm who sold them to me, had designed one trailer, and I copied it for the rest of my units. So, a very tired, very worn out machine that still does fine for me.